Disclaimer: the following video is intended for adult collectors only. As such, it will contain coarse language, mature themes, and suggestive humor. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey there, Grimlock. What's going on there, bud?
Me, Grimlock, is writing essay on theoretical physics.
What?
Me, Grimlock, have PhD.
Ah, yes. Age of the Primes. What a hell of a way to start off this really illustrious line so far. As of the recording of this video, which is in September of 2025, we are a majority of the way through the first year of Age of the Primes, and it's been a hell of a ride. Already we are getting some amazing reveals and immaculate figures, specifically some reissues that are just crazy, as well as original figures that are really hitting the mark in the new engineering department. And this figure is... When I saw that the Dinobots were going to be getting the G2 colorway treatment again, but even better, I knew this was going to be the definitive way for me to pick up this mold. So this is going to be a look at both my opinions on the deco and the mold as a whole. So this is also a Studio Series 86 Grimlock review, but I cannot stress just how good this figure is. Like, seriously, the entire deco is screaming charm and quality. From the brilliant blues to the gaudy golds, the ruby reds, everything here is just hitting the mark in some shape or fashion for me. He genuinely pops so well, and there's a lot of different pieces that I don't even really have the issue or ability of covering in this specific section because they are best talked about in the Dino mode, but the robot mode definitely has a lot going for it, especially when we're getting into the articulation. Like, seriously, this guy can pull off some wickedly interesting poses, including some more fun things, you know, a little bit unorthodox, but he's got the stability to match it with some really nice clicky heels or clicky knees, as well as having some ratchet joints at the shoulders, which is very helpful, and you can sort of utilize the Dino mode ratchets, but I don't really recommend that. They don't really work. The elbows are friction fitted. We've got some swivels at the wrist, swivel at the thighs, 90-degree bend almost, which is ratcheted, of course, and a very deep ankle pivot with some molded in detail to make it look very cohesive as you pose him. And of course everything can do the usual thing. The only thing that Grimlock is lacking is opening fingers, which some leaders get, some leaders don't, blah blah blah. You're used to the whole song and dance by. And for the accessories, first up we're going to take a look at his blaster, which is very G1 accurate. It's accurate to the movie, show, whatever the f you want to say. The double barrels are really giving me some Clone Wars-esque vibes. They just hit the mark in a really fun, unique... If the camera would focus, they really hit the mark for a sci-fi appeal, especially with the Transformers aesthetic being the way that it is right this second. You can easily see a lot of that detailing shine through, even though it is a fully black casted piece. I do wish that the handle was a little bit longer because it makes it appear a little bit stubby unless it's being held, but other than that, it definitely looks very well done. I just wish that there was a designated place for it to store on Grimlock himself. And the other accessory is the actual official worst figure in my collection. You know, he does have some pretty nice colors. You know, it is the Narn articulated wheelie into the darkness. I really do appreciate the fact that we got such a high quality deco on this mold, though. Like, in my opinion, it's only ever beaten out by the Shattered Glass one, and that's simply just because I've got a preference to purple. I definitely do think that there's a lot here that is preserved from the original deco and way of doing the figure, such as this chest piece still being gold and having the transparent plastic here. Really do appreciate that. I mean, it is still accurate to G2, but you know, what are you gonna do? Also, I know you've been seeing it and are probably gonna point it out in the comments. This right here, this right here, this right here, man, that right there. See that? Oh my god. See that? That's a problem. This is a pre-owned thing. I got it off of Amazon Renewed. Kind of goes to show you, though, to be careful where you are buying your figures from. Definitely make sure that, you know, if you are getting a good deal on a figure, it's important that you make sure that there are some things to keep in mind. You know, always expect there to be damage, always expect there to be something up with the figure, and in my case, expect that shit to have been handled by a fucking Wolverine, apparently, because that's what happened here. But now on to some complaints that I do have about the figure, and I guess the design in general. The greebling, very well done, but I will say that it is sort of distracting just how much detail there is, and it does sort of get lost in the blue here, which can be helpful for the technical accuracy of G1, but it really doesn't do that for me. Also, again, this could just be a my copy being handled by a pit bull named Princess over here, but the leg joints are wickedly loose. The QC Gremlin got me again. Not at all good. Not to mention the fact that this specific chest piece does, for me, tab off very easily, which, you know, spoil the transformation a little bit, but it really, as you saw earlier, does not take much at all to get that thing untabbed. So you do need to be a little bit more careful when handling that and posing it. It just gets things a little bit more in the realm of frustration when you're handling him, but he's still a very solid figure despite some of the slight mold degradation that is being experienced with the transformation. And lighting change? What lighting change? I have no idea what you're talking about. We're gonna run through some size comparisons real fast. We have some standardized deluxes, some Beast Former Voyager classes, and the certified big boy comparison with the leader classes. Really shows that Grimlock has a domineering presence over a majority of chug scale figures we get these days. Honestly, he is imposing. He is giant. He's got this feeling that the other figures don't quite deliver on in terms of quality. This is disappointingly good compared to the masterpiece, almost perfect in every single way, without a bullshit head-turning gimmick that's gonna break on you after a long period of time. And now we talk about the Dino mode, which... Is this the alt mode or the main mode? Is this what he... Who is to say? Who is to say at this point? Grimlock really just does as Grimlock pleases. You know, it's what you get when you have a PhD. You're sort of allowed to do things that you wish to do on a regular basis. The detailing that is on display here after the whole transformation is really something else, and you can see a lot of detailing throughout the transformation as you are going through that. But something that I really do appreciate about the Studio Series 86 line is that the greebling is very well done, and I honestly say it more as sculpting than greebling. You know, it feels so much more fun and tactilely more dense, intuitive. It's got so much more of a gripping feeling when it's got all of that sculpt work going on. Just the mechanical detailing, the actual fucking robot parts poking out of the dinosaur bits. He looks so damn good, and in this instance, it elevates this figure. Like, having a robot dinosaur is cool, but having a robot dinosaur with fucking belly vents? That's pretty cute, man. Come on, look at him. And getting into our alt mode comparisons, we've got some deluxes. And our beast former comparisons for the Voyagers, really showing just how much dominance the
King of Dinobots
has over his fellow compatriots. And our leader class comparison with Kingdom Megatron really showing just how much charm these T-Rex beast formers got. Like, seriously, these guys, man. Overall for this deco, I'm definitely thinking that it is superior to the actual normal 86 colors. The see-through neck piece is something that was included in a DNA kit, and it shows off that lovely sculpted and detail that was hidden away in the original release, as well as just so much bits of detail getting put onto display, as well as having everything fit and just go together so well with really clicky joints. Again, those ratchets are pulling in work for the legs and even for the knees. Ratcheted knees, ratcheted legs. This is just a solid ass figure. And if you go and compare it to some of the MP releases that came before, excluding third party, this is about just as good as that MP figure, pretty much making it like a moot point to own it if you've got either the G2 colorway or the 86 colorway. It is disappointingly good in a few areas, despite some limited articulation. It's just so majestic, and getting this pack in the main line instead of shilling out for the MP release and having such a brilliant deco just fills me with a joy that I didn't know possible. So what do I rate the G2 deco and the 86 mold individually? The 86 mold I'll go ahead and give a smooth 8.5 out of 10. As much as I do appreciate it, and it is disappointingly good compared to the masterpiece, there's a couple of gripes that really keep it from being all the way there for me. Like, compared to a couple of other chug scale figures that I've been able to handle since the recording of this video, it's just not as good as it could be. Like, yeah, it's got ratchets, but the range of motion, everything about it just isn't as premium as I am now used to. So it is definitely better than the masterpiece, but it's not as good as this scale and class point will provide. The deco, however, that's a smooth 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. While I might prefer the Trypticon-inspired deco of Shattered Glass, this is easily interchangeable in my mind. It's just so good. Depending on how I'm feeling on a day-to-day basis, I will confidently say that this is the best that Grimlock has ever looked in this specific mold. Like, ooh. Get that Tiger Stripe G2 nonsense out of here. I prefer the blueberry loveliness that is my blueberry son. And on that note, I think I'm going to just cut it there. So, if you like what you saw and want to see more of it, please consider liking the video, subscribing if you are interested in keeping up with current events. I am intending to make a few more variations of video other than reviews, just scheduling's a little bit conflicting right now. But if you like to see more creative stuff, I also do music, and on Twitter I do artwork. I also host spaces there with a couple of niche micro-celebrities, as well as doing a couple of other fun little bits and pieces. So if you're interested, all of that will be in the description. And as always, I am your estranged host with a most, Shirker, and I will see you in the next episode. Adios.